Let's take a look at what's all involved in getting this apart. And you look at this as a whole, and, well, it's a little intimidating, but it actually isn't. Do you know why? I want to tell you why. Let's look here. I don't know, what do you think this goes to? And where does it go? I don't know, it's going back here to the alternator. All right, so it goes back to the alternator. So you know, if you mark these, if you mark them, that goes to the alternator before you take it apart. It goes up underneath here. Then it comes all the way around here, and you get all this other stuff that's going on. Here's a voltage regulator. Well, guess what? There's a clip that unclips from that. That would be this right here. And if you mark it, you know it goes to the voltage regulator. If you take videos on your own while you're doing this, you'll understand where things go. You know the voltage regulator goes right on to the left-hand side of the rad support. Might sound stupid, but radiator hose comes off the intake, goes to the radiator. That's simple, right? That's all simple. Well, all right, if you've never done this before and you've never taken one out, mark this side radiator. If you're going to use these hoses, I wouldn't, and nobody else would either. Then we get into the tricky part. Is there a tricky part? I don't know. Not really. Look at all these little things here. What's this? It's a washer pump. Okay, this is what feeds your washer. This goes up here, should be underneath there, and we'll squirt water to your windshield when you need it. Okay, so you know where this washer is. Put a piece of tape around it. State it goes to the driver's side inner fender well. If you tape everything up and you mark everything when you take it apart, you might take it apart and there might be, these wires might be brittle, and these ones are, but what is this? Well, this is your wiper motor. This is the regulator for your wiper motor. Off of that, you have a bunch of lines. What are these lines for? Well, I don't know. There's nothing on there. It didn't come with anything. What do I know? I know this is the wiper relay. That's the wiper relay. But I know this is the wiper motor. So this has to correlate somewhere else with that. Now it's, you know, this is the way that I got it. It was all apart. So if we pull this up, or if we go down to it, all right, pull that around, pull that around, pull that around, pull that around. Where does it go? That's a spark plug wire. Where does it go? Everybody has to find. Well, look, it comes right back here. Comes back to this washer pump. Well, you got to say, well, if it goes to the washer pump, where does that go to? Oh, I don't know. What's this here? What is all? I don't know what all this is, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. If you're taking something apart, if you mark just a piece of tape and a Sharpie, wiper motor, where the position is, it goes on to the driver's side fender well. At least you know where it goes. When you're taking things apart, you'll find something else and it goes somewhere. And here's the thing, it might not be right. Somebody else may have done it to go something else to somewhere else. I don't know. Let's look at this for a second here. This isn't factory. This isn't factory, so what happened there? I don't know what happened there. I haven't tried the wipers. Will it work? Well, it may work. Not too happy with the way the person did this. I mean, if you're going to cut something there, you could have cut it all the way back here so you have it not so close to the connection. But here's the thing. This is a standard 2-spade plug. You can get a pigtail for that and not have this ugly stuff here. You could actually bring this back into the wiring harness. This is where it goes. It goes right in here. Like I said, I don't know what they did, but here it goes. They've got it wired underneath. They got it wired underneath of the master cylinder and going to the pump. Okay, yeah, well, that's how they did it. That's not how the factory did it. But if you mark it, you know what it is, you know where it goes, and you know what it goes to. So mark it, label it, so when you're done taking everything off of this, you at least have a label guide to help you to put things back together. It's not rocket science, it's common sense. Just put your time and effort into labeling everything as you're taking it apart, and then when you go put it back together, it'll make it so much more easy. If you like this video, let me know. If you don't, let me know. That's fine. What's easy for you sometimes isn't that easy for someone else. But that should never discourage somebody else to do what you can do. Never belittle or downgrade anybody. It's all a learning process. That's how I did it. I learned by just, hey, I've got these cars where there's nothing in them, and I've spent hours trying to figure out where something goes. But if you lay it all out, you can eventually figure it out, because they're not that complicated. But I'm trying to tell you, when you take your car apart, because this is what happens. 90% of the people that take cars apart, they don't do this. So they just figure, I'll just get into it, I'll go. And then what happens is they find out, wow, they got to put it back together. They may have fixed everything else. They may have fixed the rust in the car and done whatever they had to do, and it might have been but now they're overwhelmed because now I got to put it back together. I got to put this one. I don't remember where this went. I don't remember where that went. While you're taking it apart, and I still do it to this day, just label something. Something as stupid as the headlight socket. You might think that it's like, but here's the thing. Sometimes what happens is sockets are the same somewhere else. They might have a similar look, and it might be just as long. So where you're trying to put it together, but you know what? If it's labeled, you know it goes to the right front. You know it goes to the left front. And that's your best friend. Document and label everything you do. It will make your job so much easier in the long run, and you won't be doing what, I can't put a percentage on it, but a lot of people, they get into it, they can't put it back together. Why? If you just did that, easy, done. You know where it goes. You took it apart. A monkey can take it apart. The person that took the time and diligence to document and do everything they did will have such an easier time, and they will finish up with a final product. That's all I have to say tonight. Have a good one. See you next time. This is Rich from Classic Auto Garage.